And we are live. What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. And I am back with another Player Prop Talk live stream here on the channel. Happy Friday to everybody. I hope this stream finds you doing well and in good spirits. We're going to go over some player props today. We're going to answer some questions. We're going to look up some info on props.cash. We're going to use the fantasy optimizer from OddsJam. I said that backwards. We're going to use the OddsJam fantasy optimizer as well today. Build out a slip on the underdog, build out a slip on PrizePicks, build out a slip on Betr. We'll do a lot of stuff today that'll hopefully lead us to some profits. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Means a ton, helps the channel get bigger every single day. Helps me reach new viewers, just like you. If you're new to the stream, if you're new to the chat, throw it in the chat. I'm new. I'll make sure to get to your question ASAP. And we move on to the next slide. Hashtag blessed, as we talk about every single day. Over 10% of the US population dies in their sleep, meaning they don't wake up like you did today. So hashtag blessed. It is not promised to you. So do something cool. Do something fun. It's Friday. Flex Friday. Win some money. Do something cool. Do something cool with your won money, your winnings. What could be better than waking up? I don't know. Maybe playing on Betr after you wake up. Playing on Betr. First time deposit match up to 250. There's my QR code. You can scan that if you're watching this on your laptop, your TV, your iPad. Obviously, you can't scan your iPhone. I don't think that's a feature yet. But scan that QR code. Get a first time deposit match up to 250. It's a good day to take advantage of or to create a Betr account because there's a nice promo going on today. Leon Edwards, I think I called him Lonnie Edwards in my short yesterday. I don't care. Leon Edwards over 30-second fight time. 30-second fight time. Meaning he has to last longer than 30 seconds in order for this to hit. So unless he knocks out Muhammad or Muhammad knocks him out within the first 30 seconds, this is going to cash. We'll build out a slip today on Betr using this Lonnie Edwards. I already built one slip on Betr using it. We'll build another one. There is only a $10 max on this, so you can't go crazy with this. You can't put $100 on this. $10 is the max. What's going on, JR? Let's cook up a winner. Let's do it. What's up, Marcus? No hitter, huh? No hitter? What's that mean? Enlighten me. I must have missed something. Make sure you don't miss this. Promo code C Chavez OddsJam. Take advantage of this. 30% off your first month just by using my promo code. We're going to use the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer to help us locate some value across the industry. We can basically look up any pick'em site you want. The three that we've been really focusing on this past week have been PrizePicks, Underdog, and Betr. But Jock Market, Sleeper, Fliff, wherever you play. We can even use the OddsJam sports betting app as well to look up some plays on the books. Now, I'm in Texas, so I can't play the books, which is why we stick to the fantasy optimizer. But if you are in a state that allows you to play outside the pick'ems, I mean, you got more options. So I'm kind of jealous. I'd love to take advantage of some of these plays on DraftKings or FanDuel or BetMGM. I can't do it. Can't do it where I live. They won't let me do it. So, but there's a promo code. Get 30% off your first month. Oh, Cease. Oh my God, dude. Dylan Cease crushed. What did we say yesterday? It was a little too high. However, and if he were to go over that, it would have to be something off the chart, right? Like 8, 9 strikeouts. He'd have to pitch a complete game, whatever, right? And that's basically what he did. Dylan Cease, 38.5 pitcher fantasy score was his line yesterday. Matchup with the Nationals, who are traditionally a tough team to strike out. They don't strike out very often. Dylan Cease, 9 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, 0 hits. So he basically did what I said he needed to do to go over fantasy score. I don't know. That shit happens. It's sports. It's baseball. But that shit ain't happening in every game, right? So that's one of those off the wall type situations, right? I don't know who predicted that. If somebody predicted that happening, they made a lot of money yesterday. But it wasn't me. Thanks 25 is our promo code for props.cash. We'll be using props.cash today to dig into some player prop value. So we'll locate some player prop value on OddsJam. We'll take it over to the fantasy. We'll take it over to props.cash. And we'll just use the tools and resources they have to kind of better understand what makes this play good, positive, negative. So we'll be using OddsJam today. So if it's your first time watching the stream, we're going over a lot of stuff. Hopefully you find it useful. Hopefully it helps you build better slips. Just don't pick Dylan Cease today. Last slide before we get into some plays today. 10-day pass over in the Discord. $9.99. It's $1 a day. The dog days of summer are coming to an end. So before you know it, NFL will be in full swing. Hey, we got a taste of basketball this weekend. The Olympics are in full swing. So we can take a look at some props. Some familiar names in the player prop streets this weekend, but basketball is back. I guess a little bit of basketball is back in our life. We need it right now. Heavy dose of Major League Baseball and esports. If you can survive this summer, better days are ahead. So we're almost there. $9.99 10-day pass. Join, DM me over in the Discord. I'll get you set up. Pretty easy to do. All right. Let's pull up the OddsJam optimizer. And let's just take a look at what's going on. So introducing the OddsJam optimizer to the stream is fairly new. But what we're looking to do is find some value across whatever pick'em site you want. A lot of information here to digest, so we'll break it down as we go. We can build out a slip on PrizePicks to start things off. We can build out a slip on the underdog to start things off. We can build out a slip on Betr to start things off. We'll end up building out a slip on each of those pick'em sites today, but wherever you want to start, we usually start on PrizePicks just because it's the more well-known of all three, more popular, I guess. I don't know. Betr is making a run, though. Betr is a great pick'em site. If you're not on Betr, get on Betr. What's going on, T? Travis, what's up, man? Put it in the chat. Let us know about that amazing day. All right. Optimizer up on the screen. We got PrizePicks up on the screen. Let's take a look at what's available to us. So, per usual, quite a few pitcher fantasy scores. Pitcher fantasy scores are what you want them to be. Some hit, some don't. Dylan Cease didn't hit. Yesterday's YouTube short in the afternoon, I don't know if you saw that. We go 3-0 with those picks. Severino goes over his bump line of 30, goes under his bump line of 30 pitcher fantasy score. He ends with 27. Max Scherzer over his pitching outs on Betr. And then Vladdy Guerrero under hitter fantasy score. That also worked out well for us on PrizePicks because we took the under on his hitter fantasy score. So 3-0 with our afternoon value plays. So the pitcher fantasy scores, I think we need to do a little bit better job of breaking them down or digging into them and not just going by what we're seeing here. Now, this is all valid information, but we just need to better understand it, and we need to build a story for why this is not going to hit or why it's going to hit. So if there's a pitcher fantasy score that you see on the screen, throw it in the chat. We can start there, but we got Grayson, Freddie Peralta, and Pablo Lopez all projected under their pitcher fantasy score. PGA prop Tom Hogue under birdies. Only one data point here. Stuart Clark, same thing, just one other data point. There's another birdie prop. If you play these on PrizePicks, I believe you can play Hogue and Rogers in the same slip without it decreasing your payout because one is going over and one is going under. Typically, when you're playing the PGA props, you're looking for some correlation there. So you're looking for, an overstrokes, understrokes, over birdie, or under birdie, one of those combinations. Trevor Rogers under pitching outs at 15.5. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data points. That's a strong play. GBB under first 2 map headshots at 14.5. Here's another over birdies. So that's PrizePicks. Underdog, let's see what we got on Underdog. I noticed this morning we're getting a lot of basketball props on Underdog. Let's see if they're still up. There's Freddie Peralta again. So now we're getting Freddie Peralta on PrizePicks and Underdog under his pitching fantasy score. That might be worth a look. Savannah under 28.5 first 2 map kills. This one looks really strong. We got 3 data points, all saying that this line needs to be around 26.5. Underdog has it at 28. We can even try to middle it and play the over on PrizePicks at 26.5. Then play the under on Underdog at 28.5. There's a Tom Hogue on Underdog, so he's at 4 and then 4.5. That's not really worth the middle, in my opinion. You're going to lose one of those bets. Going over 4 means he gets 5. If he pushes, then it cancels out. Like, that's not really a discrepancy you can take advantage of. Let's see. Keegan Bradley now. Keegan Bradley, 4.5 birdies on Underdog. FanDuel has him at 5.5. So that's a nice little discrepancy you can look into. Here's another esports play where you're getting 3 books that like this line at 28 or 27. Underdog clearly has it set way too high. Are these guys on the same team? No. So you can put these in you could put both Savannah and surreal in your slip, and it will not minimize payment. Payout on underdog. You can also play his headshots if you want. Steph Curry under 20 PRA, 2 data points. PrizePicks or DraftKings and BetMGM says this line should be around 19.5. You can go under on that one if you want. This is not the NBA. When you see these Olympic lines, these guys aren't getting 40 minutes a game. So especially in some of these early rounds where the game might get out of hand, it's like all-star mode in a way. All right. Unit size is only $5, but I went 45. Holy shit. You won 45 units on 5? Nice. Nice. All right. Where do y'all want to start first? PrizePicks, underdog, Betr? You got a PrizePicks prop you want me to look up? Throw it in the chat. Let's pull up PrizePicks. Did I lose y'all? Did my Wi-Fi go out? It may have. Let me refresh. Volume slips. That's the key to positive EV plays. Now that's true. The more you play, the more shit you hit, basically. But in the long run, it's not like if you put in 20 slips in one day, all 20 are going to hit. But the idea is you're trying to include as many positive EV plays in all your slips. So, you know, obviously the right combination helps, right? You can have 3 in one slip, 2 in the other one that hit. That doesn't really help you. You're trying to get them all, you know. So if you play $5 tickets, you play 20 of those, that's $100 you just invested. Obviously, if you do the math on PrizePicks, if one of those hits for a perfect 6, you win 125, so you're up 25. In the event you start hitting your double ups and you hit a couple of perfect slips, now you're up maybe $300. And that's how quickly it can add up. And then there are the days where shit doesn't work out and you're down 100, and that's just how it goes. That's how it goes. So if you think you're supposed to win every day, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. All right, so let's build out a quick PrizePicks slip while we're on the optimizer. So here's what we got so far on the optimizer. Again, if you have a PrizePicks play that you want me to look up, or you've already researched it, throw it in a chat and we can put it on the board on PrizePicks. I want to take a look at this Freddie Peralta play because we're seeing it on underdog and PrizePicks. I want to go ahead and select it. Let's see. I know this one isn't a positive EV in terms of percent to hit. It's right there on the border, but we're getting a couple of good data points here. So there's a nice discrepancy with this esports play. Sonny Gray under his, I don't want to pick too many of these pitcher fantasy scores, to be honest with you. Man, maybe we don't start off on PrizePicks. I'm not really seeing a whole lot that I like on PrizePicks, to be honest. Outside of this, Freddie Peralta and Nimana. Tell you what, let's go to underdog. I don't want to waste time on PrizePicks right now. All right, we're going to build a quick slip on underdog. I actually have my underdog account pulled up today. So let's do it. I mean, we were seeing some good plays when we were just kind of scrolling through. Peralta under. Saw a couple of esports plays. Surreal under. And oh man, did they take it off? Let's see. It was Surreal. What is 3? Yeah, it was him and Savannah is a possible. No, so underdog will not let you put Savannah and Surreal in the same slip because they're in the same game. They're going to take away some of your payouts, so we can't do that. Otherwise, it'd be a good little correlation stack. Got one over. Well, actually, it wouldn't be that great of a correlation because both of them are under. So it wouldn't even be worth it. Shit. Another issue with esports is even though there may be a lot of esports plays, they're all from the same game and you just can't build a slip. Like literally you cannot build a slip on your pick'em sites because they will not let you build a slip from one game. Your payout's going to be terrible. It's pointless. So, man, dog days. Max Kepler over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. This one is right on the border of being a plus EV play. You are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 data points that like the over on this one. If we selected him and just to show, it's a net, minus 10% plus EV because it's a 3-pick basically. It's a 3-pick. So yeah, we would need to include a couple other plays to make this somewhat profitable. Y'all let me know if y'all have a underdog play that I'm not seeing, that I don't know about, and we can look it up on props.cash. Simeon over single. Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points. Let's see what that looks like. So adding that one in creates a 4-pick. Our plus EV increased in the right direction. Let's see. Hunter Goodman over total bases. You're getting a ton of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're getting a ton of support for the over on this one. So we add this one, that's a 5 pick. Our plus EV goes from 1.3% to 0.21%. I'd really like to add another green square into this slip. It doesn't feel like that's available to us. What we have to choose from: Sonny Gray under his fantasy score, George Kirby under his fantasy score, Keegan Bradley over 4.5 birdies. That one might be worth a look. I know we only got one data point on this one, but the discrepancy, 5.5 to 4, that might be worth a look. If we put this in for a 6 pick, that's a 13% EV, 2% chance to hit. If we took out one of the lower percentage plays to see what a 5 pick looked like, let's take out Simeon. Let's take out Goodman. So if we took out Hunter Goodman's prop, it is a 2% EV, 5% chance to hit. That's a 5 pick. That's really not that bad. That one could work. That one could work. If y'all can't hear me or see my screen, just let me know in the chat. Can somebody let me know in the chat? Everything looks good on my end, but I had to refresh everything earlier, so I want to make sure everything is still good and I'm not just talking to dead air. All right, so underdog pulled up. Let's build this slip out. Let's see if we can get this one in. It's got Peralta under pitcher fantasy score, Simeon over his single, and Kepler over his hits, runs, and RBIs. Well, the problem is we can't play Simeon's single prop because it's no longer available. So let's move on to Kepler. Can't even play Kepler. So fuck this. We're gonna have to refresh this screen because most of these plays now have been removed from underdog or bumped or whatever. So that's the issue we're going through right now. All right, cool. Appreciate it, T. All right, let's give this another shot because Simeon wasn't available, Kepler wasn't available, so that 5 pick that we built out was pointless. Let's go back. We got Peralta under. We got Bradley over. Let's scroll down. We got Savannah under. Savannah? There's a 3 pick right there. crucial. It's crucial that we put him in our slip. Do we want to put a, we got Curry at 18.5 on BetMGM, 19.5 on DraftKings. Underdog has his PRA at 20 to go under on that one. That's a newish one. We didn't have him in our last slip. We cannot put this play in, although it's a pretty decent one, but they're on the same team, so we can't use them. Under 13.5 points and rebounds. Jason Tatum only has one data point. I'm going to skip him. Significant strikes. Drew Brown. Doo-doo Brown over 268.5 passing yards. You're getting 2 data points. We're only going to get one stat, though. 281. So you're getting a 13-yard discrepancy. Do we think this guy can throw for over 268? Can he get us 269 passing yards today? This slip is actually looking a lot better. I think to save time, I'm going to build this out on my phone while we're looking at plays. And then I'll refresh my screen on my laptop, and then you'll get to see the finished slip. If that makes sense. Just having all these apps running at the same time, I think is just causing some issues. So we have Peralta under his pitcher fantasy score. We had Keegan Bradley. Over birdies. We had Curry under his PRA. And that was how many? And then we had Savannah. Under 15.5 headshots. And then our fifth play was crucial. I mean, that's a pretty strong 5 pick right there. We wanted to roll with a 5 pick under 31 for crucial. That's a 6 pick, actually. My bad. So we're getting a reduced payout because Crucial and Savannah are in the same game. So we're going to have to get rid of one of these esports plays. Sorry. That's how it is. I'm going to get rid of Savannah because Crucial has more data points. And we're just going to go to the next one. This is how the shit goes sometimes. Trevor Rogers under 5 hits allowed against Milwaukee. Brian Bello under his 25.5 pitcher fantasy score against the Yankees. Let's put him in there for now. That gives us a 25x over on Underdog. Let's use props.cash to look up Brian Bello real quick to see what his projections look like. Looking at the under on his pitcher fantasy score right now at 25.5. If all looks good, we're going to go ahead and use this lineup. So numbers against the Yankees. In one game this season, he had 5 strikeouts. He went 14 innings, so that is 29 fantasy points. He gave up 4 earned runs, so that's 17 fantasy points. So well below the 25. In his last 5 games, he's averaging 6 strikeouts. In his last 5 home games, he's averaging 5. Let's go with the home games there. That's 5. That's 15 fantasy points. In his last 5 home games, he's averaging 15 pitching outs. So that's 30 fantasy points right there. And in his last 5 home games, he's given up 5 earned runs. So those earned runs are really hurting him today. He is projected to go over 3 earned runs against a Yankees lineup that has some bats in this lineup that hits him pretty well. Soto limited plate appearances, but 333 batting average. I know Judge's batting average is not great, but he's always a threat. You got Verdugo in there, Torres, Volpe, and LeMahieu. So you got quite a few bats in there that could give Bayo some problems. I'm going to go ahead and submit this slip right now. And then let's head back over to Underdog. And then I'll show you guys what that slip ended up looking like. So that's our first slip of the day. Built a 6-pick over on Underdog using the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer. A pretty diversified slip, as RZA would say. Gotta diversify your slips. All right, so here's the slip. Freddie Peralta under his fantasy pitching fantasy got Crucial under 31 first 2 map kills. Bayo under his pitcher fantasy. Curry under his PRA. Drew Brown higher than 268 passing yards, and then Keegan Bradley over 4.5 birdies. So that's our first slip of the day. And can I share this? So payout details. If you're unfamiliar with Underdog, real quick, payout details on the screen. So if we get all 6 right, that's obviously the best possible result, 25x. Now, if we get 5 out of 6, 2.6x is our payout. That's 13. If you remember on PrizePicks, they're giving you a 2x. So this is already a better slip. You're getting 0.6 more for your 5 out of 6. So there you go. The payout on a perfect slip is the same. However, the payout on the 5 out of 6 is much better. So that's our first slip. And I'm going to work on getting this link put in the chat, but while it's on the screen, you can just build it out yourself if you want to do that, or just give me a quick second to pull up my notes, and I can just throw that in the chat. And then do you guys want to build a PrizePicks slip next or a Betr slip? I think it just depends on the value. From what I saw earlier, PrizePicks didn't really have a whole lot going on. Justin Hardy receiving yards over. We can look at that one, T. There's your Underdog slip, or Underdog link for that slip. All right, let's go over to PrizePicks. Justin Hardy is a CFL player, right? There's Hardy. Is he on the same team as Drew Brown? He is. So now, if we put these two in a slip, it would... Is it reduced? Let's just throw another play in there. Yeah, it's reduced. So unfortunately, on PrizePicks, you aren't able to build out with these two guys and get your full payout. But we like the over on Drew Brown's passing yards on underdog. And if you like the over on Justin Hardy's receiving yards, you can correlate it like that. If Drew Brown goes over his passing yards, we want to believe that Justin Hardy is going to get, what, 30% of that? If Drew Brown passes for 270 yards, $25 of that, 30% of that gets Justin Hardy the over. So yeah, we can start there because that does correlate pretty well with what we built on underdog. Let's see what else we can find on PrizePicks. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button on your way in, on your way out. If you're just joining the stream, we have already completed one slip build out on underdog. We might actually go back to underdog to see if we can build out another slip. There's quite a few plays that were standing out. Let's see if anything has changed on PrizePicks. We have this PGA play. Can we get an under on strokes? LeBron James under 5 assists. This feels good to look at basketball props again. If we were getting LeBron James 5 assist line during the regular season, we would be hammering the shit out the over on that one. But this is the Olympics, so what's going on, Boom? Appreciate you being here. Let's see, JW, Lucky. So yeah, unfortunately, our PrizePicks slip is going to be not a plus EV play. I still want to use that Justin Hardy. We got one already. I don't want to play Peralta. I tell you what. Let's look at this Peralta. Let's look at this Peralta fantasy score. Let's see if we can, learn a little bit more about this shit. So strikeout prop is at 6.5, minus 156 to go over. At 6.5, you only have one book that's taking action on this over, and that's FanDuel. So not a whole lot of data right there. Numbers against the Miami Marlins. He's only gone over once in his last 3. At home, Peralta is averaging 6 strikeouts over his last 5 and basically 7 in his last 10. So 7 and 6 compared to on the road, almost identical. So on the road, he's giving you basically 6. At home, he's giving you between 6 and 7. So I think, in all fairness, just to be conservative with this, let's say he goes out there and strikes out 6 batters. Miami is striking out at a pretty decent clip, 23%, 15th in the MLB versus right-handed pitching. They currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batters, potential batters in this lineup that have an above 20% strikeout rate. Most of these dudes are almost at 25, 26. Quite a few strikeouts in there. So if you feel like 6.5, 7 is within reach, at the end of this breakdown, we'll just add an additional 3 points because that's what a strikeout is worth on PrizePicks. So let's say he goes out there and gets you 6. Then Freddie Peralta needs to not get rocked in this game if you think he goes over. So Based off what we're seeing here over his last 5 games and 10 games, he's giving you about 16 pitching outs, which is right around 5 1/3 inning at home. Again, 16 and 16. So 5 1/3 inning, that's 16. 16 plus 6 strikeouts, that's 18. That's 34 fantasy points. He is projected to give up 2 earned runs, so that's 31, 28 fantasy points. He will get the quality start bonus just based off that. So that's back to 32 fantasy points. If he gets the win, that's 38 fantasy points. They being PrizePicks and Underdog have his fantasy score between 40 and 41. If Freddie Peralta gives up more than 3 earned runs, then he's definitely, I don't want to say not going to go over, but the chances of him going over fantasy line, giving up 3 or more earned runs, it's not good. If you think he gets you 7 strikeouts, let's add another 3 points, because I think we're sitting at 30. What were we sitting at? 34? 32? So with another strikeout, he's around 35, 36 fantasy points. If you think he gets you 8 strikeouts, now he's at 38, 39 fantasy points. So now we're starting to creep into, 8 strikeout, 9 strikeout territory. 7 is within reach. 8, he's only hit 8 strikeouts, 3 of his last 10. That's 30%. His last 15, let's see if we can get a better dive into this. So 4 out of his last 15 games, he's gotten you 8. 7 out of his last 15, he's gotten you 7, so closer to 50%. Against the Marlins, again, I think 40-1 is a little high based off this. So this one could be in play. We broke the shit down the same way with Dylan Cease yesterday. So, I mean, don't let that deter you from playing a good play. We've also been right on some pitcher fantasy scores too. So, I mean, you just can't get them all right. Fuck. So at 40.5, I mean, I think this 37 line, it lines up really well with how we just broke it down, that 37, 38. So if we put this Peralta under on PrizePicks, and we're just going to piggyback the shit out of this one because we're going under on Underdog and under on PrizePicks. Michael Thorbinson, over 68 strokes. Just one data point to look at on this one. So it is a little risky because we don't have a lot of information behind it. But that's kind of what we're doing right now. There's not a whole lot available to us. Patrick Rogers over 68 now. Can't play both of those in a slip. PrizePicks will not allow it. LeBron James under 5 assists. Minus 166 to go under 5.5. Minus 120 on DraftKings. I'm assuming that's an over. That's 5. It just feels like 5 is the number. It feels like 5 could be the number he just lands on, and that's a push. It's not really going to help our slips. Trevor Rogers over 4 strikeouts, meaning he needs 5 against Milwaukee. Man, there's just not a whole lot. We might have to get a little risky and play some of these yellows. Let's look for some data points on esports. If we can find two or more data points for an esport play, it might be worth putting it in a slip. 13 and 13 and a half on PrizePicks. It's at 14. What else? 28 and a half for JW. Over 26 and a half. He's at 28 and a half on HOTSTREAK. Minus 129. Also on parlay play. I would feel more comfortable if we can find an under on the other side for the movie star Koi. Something that we could do is put this Aaron Judge over bases in this slip, because we took the under on Brian Bayo pitcher fantasy score on underdog. So obviously if Aaron Judge does any sort of damage, it's going to hurt Brian Bayo's fantasy score. So that's one way we can use those picks to help our slips, even though they're on different pick'em sites. So we have Peralta, JW, Aaron Judge, and we have Justin Hardy already waiting for us. Man. Any plays that y'all like on PrizePicks, throw them in the chat. Leon Edwards under 83 and a half significant strikes. He's at 84 on DraftKings. That's not a big difference, but I mean, one strike is. Oh, here we go. So we got an over for JW on eyeballers, and then we have just under 16 and a half headshots. We are just getting one data point, but you can use this as correlation. You got one over, one under. Oh, it's in the same game. You're not going to let us do that. Will they? They might. What I can do is also just look up this team and see if there are any other players that have better lines. No profitable picks, they say. I don't believe you. All right, so that gives us 5. Did it just erase everything? Son of a bitch. All right, let's see here. Maybe something changed. Maybe something changed with our plays here. Maybe we can put in another green square if we can find one. All right, so we had Rodgers, and we did not have Rodgers. We could put Rodgers in there. Actually, something did change, because before there was only one data point for Rodgers. Now we're getting 2 data points for the over on his strokes. Okay, so let's start there. Let's go under Peralta. That's 2. Under this guy's birdies, only 1 data point. Oh, we got 2 data points, 4.5. Let's see. Arts under first 2 map headshots at 14.5. Look, we got this Lodolo Shane Baz under 12.5 strikeouts. That seems a little low. Those pitcher combo strikeout props can be a little tricky sometimes. Here's another good strokes prop, but we can't put that in the same slip. Over 13.5 headshots for this cat. So we have 3 on the board, 2 on the board. Let's go back and find those 2 correlated esports plays, even though they're not in the best position in terms of EV. We also have this Judge play. Let's throw Judge in there, and then let's get those 2 EV, or let's get those 2 esports plays, and then let's submit this one. And these motherfuckers are way the fuck down here. God damn. Did they take them off the board? Or did I just scroll past them? It was JW and... Damn, they may have taken them off the board. Shit. Unless they got moved up. Maybe they got... And maybe their odds increased. Probably not. Damn. Well, we need one more to make it a 5 pick. Unless I'm just not scrolling down far enough, but I feel like we did not scroll this far down previously. Yeah, there's no way we went this far. Yeah. All right. All right, so once these 3 plays are put on the board, we will add Justin Hardy to the party, and we need one more play to make it a 5 pick. If you got a suggestion, throw it in the chat. If not, we're gonna have to go red square diving here in a second to find one play. One play. Something else we could do is check out the odds jam betting tool to see if there's any plus EV. To see if there's any plus EV there. Sanchez strikeouts, Nick Lodolo Ks. We can look at those. But real quick, let's look at the sports betting tab on OddsJam and see if we can find a plus EV. Sometimes a play or two will be available through the sports betting tab that is not on the optimizer. Sometimes it happens. So we'll just check all the boxes and make sure that we're not missing out on something. We just need one play. We just need one more play to make this a 5 pick. If we can get 2, that would be great, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Yeah, there's nothing on PrizePicks for PrizePicks right now. You got Lodolo over 17.5 pitching outs. You got Peralta over 1.5 earned runs, which lines up really well with our under fantasy. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot. So who was it? Lodolo strikeouts and Christopher Sanchez strikeouts. All right, so here's Chris Sanchez, 5 strikeouts. Got bumped from 4.5 to 5. I wonder if Ellie De La Cruz can keep this shit going. The last time we took the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs, right? He had like 12 in game 1 of that doubleheader, and then the second game got canceled. due to inclement weather. Damn, man, I really like those two esports plays that we had. They correlated well. Bitch. Christopher Sanchez fantasy score. They got him going under strikeouts. How's he going to get the over fantasy score if he goes under strikeouts or if he lands right at 5? And then he goes, what, 6 innings? 18 plus 15 is 33. Gets the quality start bonus. That's 37. Gives up only 1 earned run. That's 34. That's interesting. 8.5 rebounds for Rudy Gobert. 1, 2, 3 data points. Support that one. This one doesn't look that bad. Zevi over 28.5. First 2 map kills. 30 on hot streak. 129 on parlay play. Jock Landau over 11 points. These are some wild ass props. What about this Bobby Witt? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 data points, over 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs against the Cubs. So let's take a look at. So we're at 4 right now. Let's take a look at both Witt and Devers. So we're going to take a look at Devers' fantasy score against Nestor Cortez. And then we're going to take a look at Bobby Witt at 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And if we just feel relatively good about it, we're going to go ahead and send it through, because right now the value on PrizePicks is, I mean, we're dumpster diving right now for value. All right, so we got 6 in there right now. Let's go back over to props.cash, and then let's just take a look at Bobby Witt and then Rafael Devers. Well, let's look at Devers first. Matchup is against Nestor Cortez. All right, so let's look at his projections first, and then let's see if we can build out something based off that. Then we'll look at the odds and we'll look at the matchup. So projected for 3.6 hits, runs, and RBIs. So you're going to get a single based off these numbers. That's 3 points. It's going to score a run. That's 4 or 5. And then he's going to drive in an RBI. That's 7 fantasy points right there. That's 3 hits, runs, and RBIs. So right now he's at a push. If we look at his total bases today, he's not projected to go more than 1, although I'm sure in a lot of these games he also wasn't projected to go over 1, and he racked up 5, 6, 4. Not too bad home run odds. I mean, those aren't great. I wouldn't rush to play it. All right, let's look at his numbers versus the Yankees. So in 25 games versus the Yankees, he's gone over his hits, runs, and RBI by quite a bit. He's averaging 3 in these games. Total bases, he's averaging 2.6. Home runs in these games versus the Yankees, he has 13 home runs. This game is being played at home, so let's see what this looks like. At home versus the Yankees, he's averaging 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. At home versus the Yankees, 4 home runs. I mean, these numbers are fine. You know, nothing is like screaming out, but these numbers are fine. Now, his numbers against Nestor Cortez, not the best batting average, but he does have power. 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and a double. Ref Snyder has had the most success against Nestor Cortez. Not a whole lot of sample size here. Traditionally against lefties, like everybody on this lineup hits lefties well, except for Rafael Devers. Nestor Cortez versus Nestor Cortez versus lefties. Just a 220 batting average. So against lefties, he's done a great job. Let's take a look at Bobby Witt. We were looking at his hits, runs, and RBIs at 2.5. That's a pretty big line for this not to be a Coors Field game. Numbers against Chicago, 6, 5, and 2. Over his last 10 games, Bobby Witt is averaging 4 hits, runs, and RBIs. He's averaging 4.8 in his last 5. Today, he's projected for 2.4 hits, runs, and RBIs, a single. But you're also getting some positive projections here for an RBI and a run scored. I mean, that's 3. That gets you what you need. In his last 5 games, he's almost averaging 3 hits alone. He needs 3 hits, runs, and RBIs to get this line. He's averaging 3 hits basically in these games. I think the Bobby Witt is a pretty decent play. Chavez says Devers is going yard today. I like the odds, and I got Cortez under on strikeouts. So let's go over to the tabs. This is what we got. We got Devers over, Witt over, Hardy over. We have Peralta under, Patrick Rogers over, and Aaron Judge over. All right, that's our 6th pick. We'll throw that in there. And that's our 2nd slip of the morning. Let's build out a better slip. Let's build out a slip on Betr. All right, there's your PrizePicks link in the chat. Not a link, but you'll have to copy and paste it. All right. Yeah, Witt's been fucking rolling, man. That guy. Love seeing those young players take that next step. Usually around year 2, year 3. You usually see that huge jump from rookie, getting comfortable, then boom. I feel like if they don't take that step within the first 3 to 4 seasons, probably not going to happen. Bobby Witt didn't waste any time. Same for Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran has made that leap. All right, let's check out Betr. All right. So, unfortunately, you're not able to play all 3 of these in a slip. If you are down to create multiple slips, then what you would do is you would just put Mackenzie Hughes in one, Gary Woodland in one, and then Pendrith in another one. What we can look for is an under on strokes and then a birdie play. to kind of correlate it. But let's see what we got. Just scrolling down. We got our first under right here. Stewart Sink under 70.5 strokes. Just 2 data points. You're never really going to find too many books to refer to, unfortunately. So it's the way it is. So we might have something here. Let me scroll down a little bit more. A lot of data points to work with. Even though it's not a plus EV square, you're still getting a lot of support. And we're just going to follow the data on a lot of these plays. Is this sun in my frame? No. Man, we got good natural lighting today. That's a streamer's dream right there. Save on electricity. Let Mama Nature light up the room. Let's scroll. So we took the under on Brian Bayo's fantasy score on underdog, and now we're looking at his earned runs over 2.5 on Betr. This is another way you can correlate a player prop across multiple sites. It's also another way to kind of leverage a fantasy score. If we were seeing an under prop on Bayo's strikeouts on one platform, and then we go to Betr, and then we're seeing the over on his earned runs, it's kind of hard for a player to go over their fantasy prop when there are other props that they have out there that are working against them. So we're seeing a lot of support for Bayo's under fantasy just by shopping lines. There's Judge right there. We played the over Judge on PrizePicks. Look at all those data points that support the over on Judge. Yordan Alvarez, or as I like to say, Pedro Serrano. All right, here's Christopher Sanchez over 4.5 strikeouts. We like that one. Who wanted to play his strikeout prop? And we got bumped up. So we got Chris Sanchez under. Let's throw him in there as our first play. It's not the best play on the board, but it is a line that we know has been bumped already on another platform. So we want to go ahead and throw that in there. I tell you what, we're going to also add in the Lonnie Edwards fight time promo, and that'll significantly boost our slip into plus EV territory. So now we have a little wiggle room to dive a little deeper into the red squares, because the overall build of the slip is going to be a plus EV. All right, so we got 2 plays on the board. Let's go back up and let's put in this Mackenzie Hughes over strokes at 68.5. So that's 3 plays right there. 2 showing on the board, and then we're adding in Edwards promo that gives us 3. So now we can add in a couple of plays. Let's see if we can find some correlation here. Mackenzie Gore under earned runs. Are there any St. Louis bats that we can play the under on? If Mackenzie Gore is not projected to give up more than 3, it could be worth our while to take a look at some unders for St. Louis if we can find them. We can always add in Aaron Judge again. If you want to add in Aaron Judge on Betr, we can add it to our Betr slip. I kind of like playing different plays though. I don't like going too heavy on one player. There's Peralta over earned run. So we played the under on his pitcher fantasy score in 2 different slips. So earned run is over 1.5 on Betr. Let's see, Kepler. We were trying to play Kepler on underdog earlier, if y'all remember that, and it got removed. So we got that one. Gavin Stone has a couple of plays, got the under on his earned runs, but over on his hits. So maybe just giving up a bunch of singles. So we're coming across two plays that we already played on PrizePicks: over Aaron Judge bases, and then over Bobby Witt hits, runs, and RBIs. So we can almost make a duplicate of our PrizePicks slip. So now we're getting into the 52s. I kind of don't want to dip that deep down into the player pool here. Not going to be too much down here that we're going to get excited about. Yeah, I mean, I already got 3 added in there. Got Sanchez, Mackenzie Hughes, and our Lonnie Edwards. Let me refresh this bitch. And we're going to find 2 more plays, and then we're going to make a better slip. If you guys want to make another slip, just let me know in the chat. We can make another PrizePicks. We can make another underdog slip. Just let me know. So here's a correlation right here with this Stewart Sink. Stewart Sink under his strokes, and then we got Mackenzie Hughes over strokes. And then we have this Tony Fanu over his birdies, but you know what? I don't like the one data point. At least with our strokes plays, we were getting multiple data points. Tyler O'Neill over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. We got the over on Rafael Devers. If we took a look at the matchup again between the Yankees and the Red Sox, based off the batting order, you have O'Neill and Devers batting back to back, or they're within, they're in the top 5, the first 5 of the lineup. This could correlate, although O'Neill's numbers against Nestor Cortez have been pretty bad. 40% strikeout rates. Traditionally against lefties, though, O'Neill rakes. 9 homers, 14 singles, 7 doubles. Against righties, Nestor Cortez is giving up a ton of power. 18 home runs against righties this season. 5 plate appearances. 40% strikeout rate. Is that 2? So he has 2 strikeouts. 40% is a big number, but it's not 40% across 300 plate appearances. It's 40% over 5. The more at bats he gets against Cortez, the more that number comes down. So he's only struck out twice against Cortez. He's put the ball in play 3 times. We don't know what kind of hits those were. They could be, warning track hits. They could be plays that, somebody made a nice grab. It could have been an extra base hit. They got robbed. You never know. So being 0 for 5 isn't the worst thing in the world. It's not like he's 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts. It's not like he's 0 for 5 and he's just getting dominated. So I just like the correlation that we have with O'Neill and Devers in different slips, but definitely don't have to play that one. Just thought it would be worth to look at, especially we're getting 3, 4, 5 data points. We got 2 books. I like it at -140. We already know Judge is a solid pick. Jordan over hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's look at this Max Kepler, because the Max Kepler one, we wanted to play on, well, I wanted to play on underdog, and then it got taken off the board. Let's take a look at this one. Max Kepler. So we're looking at his hits, runs, and RBIs, I think it was. Minus 130 to go over. Got DraftKings and Beta MGM that like this one. So we already know we're getting a lot of support based off what Odds Jams is giving us. So his hits and runs and RBIs, he's projected for 1.5. Projections are just not in his favor, but the odds are. Head-to-head against the Detroit Tigers, he's done pretty well. He's averaging 2.2 hits, runs, and RBIs. Numbers specifically against Kiter Montero. You just got Willie Castro, and B. Lee. Look, there's not a lot of data points here. There's not a lot of numbers here. So sample sizes are small. Kepler versus righties on the year. 18% strikeout rate, pretty low. 262 batting average. Kepler versus righties in terms of numbers. 5 homers. 15 doubles. Montero versus righties. He is allowing a 281 batting average with 5 homers. Almost identical numbers for these guys. Is Montero a starter, or is he going to be in there for like 2 innings and then he gets relieved? He went 19 outs his last game. Okay, so he might be in there for the full go. He's projected to give up 3 earned runs, but the odds are not in that favor. I don't really feel good about that one. Yeah, I don't really feel good about that one. Maybe it's a good thing we didn't play it on underdog. I tell you what, I'm just going to double down. I'm going to put Aaron Judge in this lineup. Unless, I wonder if they got Rafael Devers' fantasy score on Betr. Let's see. Uh, 6.5 fantasy score for Rafael Devers. It's not on the Odds Jam optimizer, but on Betr. 6.5 fantasy score. The scoring system is identical to PrizePicks. You do not get points taken away from you, so it's all positive. 10 points for a home run, 2 points for a run, 2 points for an RBI, 2 points for a walk, 2 points if you're hit by a pitch, 5 points for a stolen base. Three points for a single, 5 points for a double, 8 points for a triple. Let's go Devers. We're throwing Devers in there. That'll round out our 5 pick on Betr. And give me a second so I can share the link with everybody. All right. There's Betr, there's PrizePicks, there's underdog. There's 3 slips we just built out today using OddsJam. Unfortunately, not all these slips are going to be considered plus EV because the value is just not there for us. Just give it a couple of weeks. Once we get more sports in action, and you're not just relying on MLB and esports, you know, the more we have to choose from, the better we can build out our slips. Let's just take a quick look at the boards one more time. Let's just see if anything is standing out before we dip out. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit that like button on your way in or out. It means a ton. Let's see if anything has changed. We have Arts. Peralta's still up there. Lodolo's up there. We got Morton and Sanga under 11. That seems really low, right? 11 and a half strikeouts combined. GBB under 14 and a half headshots. You got Lucky, Christopher Sanchez. So we got Chris Sanchez at 4.5 strikeouts over on Betr. So that was a pretty good find. Kirby, Gray. Yeah. There's Drew Brown again. I wonder what some of these CFL Olympic basketball props look like. Definitely not going to be plus EV, but not too much we've built today has been plus EV, unfortunately. So there's Drew Brown. Tominaga under his points. Dyson Daniels under his points. I think Drew Brown's like the only... I think Drew Brown was the only CFL play that we had on the board. Yeah, and we're getting into the dark red here. Yeah, I think we got a good one on Drew Brown. I mean, look at that discrepancy. 281 on FanDuel, 282 on DraftKings. You're getting it for 273 on PrizePicks. The over on that one. But look, we can actually still play this on PrizePicks, but on Underdog, we got this one. On Underdog, we got this one at 268. It's already been bumped up to 274. So we got it at a really good. If you played this, you got it at the lowest line, 268. That was crazy, right? That was what, 15, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago? I don't know. That just goes to show you how quickly these plays can bump. So it didn't take long for Underdog to adjust that shit. Yeah. Let's take a look at Underdog. I'll share my protected play in the Discord this afternoon because it's only a 5 pick or a $5 max. I've been trying to play a demon or two in there to just boost payout. So they are a little risky. All right, so we have the same guys, but on different platforms, but unders. Lodolo, Peralta, Gray. Taylor Pendrith over his birdies. Now, this one is not too bad. You got 2 data points at 5. You're getting at a lower line over on Underdog. So this one could be in play. George Kirby. So a lot of the same guys that we saw earlier are still there. Adam Hadwin under his strokes. Damn, that's a good one. Under 69.5. By far the highest number out there. That's a strong play. Jaron Duran over 7.5 hitter fantasy score. We got Devers going over his fantasy score. There's another correlation for you. In different slips, you like the over on Devers and Duran. Matt Chapman over 7.5. Man, this Brian Bayo is getting hammered for the over on all these books. 2.5 earned runs. That's another one. Yeah, if you're playing on underdog, you have a lot of value on underdog compared to PrizePicks. Lots. Koala over 12 first 2 map kills. Moth 16.5 first 2 map headshots. Mason Wynn over hits runs RBIs. Veerling under his hits runs RBIs. Cal Raleigh over his fantasy score. And then you're getting into the red. What's up, Damien? All right, everybody. I think that's it. 3 slips. Today we built out 3 slips. 1 on underdog, 1 on PrizePicks, and 1 on Betr. Real quick before we go, don't forget about the Leon Edwards promo. We used him in our Betr slip today, but you get a $10 max on this one. That's my QR code. If you don't have a Betr account, sign up using my code and then play this Leon Edwards. Tail the slip. Find the link in the chat. It's there for you. Also, OddsJam Optimizer. We use that to break down some value, find some value. That's my promo code on the screen. 30% off your first month. If you happen to live in a state, where you can actually play books, you can also sign up for the OddsJam betting app, the sports betting app. But because I don't live in a state like that, I use the Fantasy Optimizer, and that's what we use today. So nice promo right there. And then Thanks25 is the promo code for my props.cash. So we use props.cash to kind of break down some fantasy scores today to help us dig deeper. So a lot of resources I use to help build out slips. Hopefully they help us win some money today. That would be ideal. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's live stream. Appreciate you being here. Hit that like button on your way out. Consider subbing up to the channel. Make sure your notification icons are clicked. There will be a YouTube short posted later this afternoon. Yesterday, we go 3-0 with our afternoon top value plays. The day before, we went 2-1. So we're 5-1 over the last 2 days with our afternoon value. We just do a quick overview of the OddsJam Fantasy Optimizer. I give you 3 plays that we didn't talk about in the live stream. So if you want more plays, make sure your notifications are turned on so you don't miss out on those plays. I will be back Monday morning, 9 a.m. with another Player Prop Talk live stream. No stream tomorrow or Sunday, but I will be putting out a couple of shorts. And then as always, I'll be pretty active in the Discord. So if you want to get at me in the Discord, or make sure you leave a comment on the shorts and I'll be sure to get back at you. But appreciate y'all being here. Happy Friday. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Hope you win some money this weekend. Hope all your slips profit. Until we meet again, Chavez is out.